Hello and welcome to Seder Soul Sailing. This might be the penultimate video for a while, but you know, here's my plan. Victoria is going to come to sail with me for a while, and she is my person. She is the human uh, that I care most about on this planet. And I love you all, but I'm not going to take time away from Victoria to chat with you every day. But chances are she'll get sick of hearing me ranting and raving about whatever. So when she needs a break, I'll come and rant and rave at you all. So let's hope it isn't too often. Let's hope it's not every day. 'Cause, but there's a pretty serious topic today, and it's one that's very important to both Victoria and I. And it's Trump said recently that he's going to send troops to Mexico to help the president of Mexico battle the drug cartels. Well, for starters, there's been drugs coming into the United States from Mexico and Venezuela and Colombia and every other goddamn place for about since Nixon, at least since Nixon declared war on drugs and made everything illegal. He created the drug trade by making it all illegal. And whatever they have done, it hasn't done jack shit so far. So, but they have done, I mean, what do we know they were doing? They were running drugs when Oliver North was running the NSA. They were moving drugs and weapons to the cartels or to get money to, I don't know what the hell they did with it, fund the Iranian Hezbollah bombers in Lebanon or some fucking thing. I mean, whatever it was, Ollie North stepped on his dick big time, and since then they have had, since then they've been kind of outsourcing their dirty work to vaguely legal or, you know, well, outright criminal organizations. I mean, you know, if you want to see a good example of how it works, it's kind of dumbed down quite a bit. But if you want to see a good idea of how the deep state and the letter agencies work with like criminal organizations, watch the Sons of Anarchy. There might be some truth in that television program. I mean, Sonny Barger, who was a friend of mine, he was the advisor for that program. He also played Lenny the Pimp. But there's a shocking amount of truth in that program. Unfortunately, I've discovered. Anyway, but the letter agencies have been more active in getting drugs into the United States from the cartels than they have been in preventing it. And they've been more active in getting weapons to the cartels than they have been in solving any kind of problems. But Mexico's an interesting situation because Mexico is sort of almost an unofficial duopoly. You've got the government and you've got the cartels, and they kind of work together with an uneasy peace, an uneasy truce. Hey, a lot of you coming on, give a chance. If you get a chance, hit the thumbs up button. I will come to your house and rub Ben Gay onto your arthritic finger if it gets sore from hitting the like button. As long as you live by a coast with a good harbor. Anyway, so basically, yeah, like arresting Maduro in Venezuela, this saying it was about drugs. Seriously, they could have, if they wanted to put their back into stopping fentanyl from coming in from China via Latin America, they could have done that a long time ago. It's not their, that's not what they're after. That's not their point. So what is their point? So we know that Trump doesn't fuck around. When Trump says he's going to do something, you better listen to what he says. And when he says he's going to send troops into Mexico, I would pretty much be preparing to have troops in Mexico if I had anything to do with running Mexico right now. It's going to happen. It's just like he's going to take Greenland. He doesn't have to send troops to Greenland. Was it a good idea? I don't know. I don't think Greenland is that important to the EU, to be honest with you. But it's pretty important to controlling the trade routes in the Arctic Ocean around the Americas and Russia, though. So we'll see what that. So I think we can count that as a given, and I think we can count the U.S. sending shock troops into Mexico as a given. I mean, it's been a while. I don't think. I think Woodrow Wilson was the last person that tried this kind of shit. So, and he was a fucker. He's the guy that signed the Federal Reserve Act. That's a different story. We had a good conversation about this the other day when y'all were on here. So yeah, I really enjoyed the conversations. We had a lot of smart people watching a couple days ago, and we had a lot of smart people watching the last two shows too. But man, we had a hell of a conversation the other day. Okay, so I think we can pretty much take U.S. invasion of Mexico militarily as a given. But the real question isn't, are they going to do it? Trump said he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to take Greenland. He's going to invade Mexico just like he went and kidnapped Maduro. And who's a fucker? I don't know about this president of Mexico now. I haven't really been following too much. I haven't been to Mexico since she took office. I love Mexico, though. I've lived there off and on. Big chunks of my life over the last few years. Last 6 or 7 years. So it's going to happen, but the question is why? And here is one thing I've learned. Mexico, right now, everybody thinks Venezuela was about oil. No, Venezuela was to send a signal to China and Russia about the U.S. doesn't want anybody else peeing on its tree, Hi, what cartel leader is running Mexico? Whichever one is talking to the president that day. I mean, they each have their own, the cartels have their own territory, and the government has its territory, and they try not to step on each other's toes too much and keep the bloodshed down to a minimum. And, so, if getting rid of the cartels, if they wiped out the entire cartels and put them into shallow graves somewhere, the world would be a better place. Or paying her off. Well, yeah, they definitely, it's what do you call it? Quid pro quo. The government doesn't tolerate the cartels just because they don't want to fight with them. And the cartels tolerate the government not because they're good citizens and like government. They do it because they both get something back. There's kickbacks going both ways. There's government kickbacks going to the cartels, and there's cartels kicking back to the government. It's all, grease my palm, I'll grease your palm, and we'll give each other a reach around sort of thing. Unfortunately, the person the entity taking it in the shorts is the Mexican people. If Mexico has a good president, they would live long. Yeah, I can't really speak about this woman that's the president of Mexico now. I just don't know enough about her. All I do know, one thing I can guarantee, she has to get ready for frickin' stormtroops right now to be coming in. She's got to prepare to deal with a U.S. occupation of the silver mining regions, because that's what it boils down to. It's not about oil. The new oil is silver because we're going electric. There's technology coming out. I've complained about electric cars. Come on, you guys, give a bunch of you are on here watching. Give us a thumbs up. If the and John, we had a conversation. Come on, I answered your questions. Now, how about a thumbs up? I'm looking at you, John. John Stevens, and the silver is the oil of the electric world. Silver is the one essential element that we absolutely need for everything to do with electricity. And there's new battery technology. I've got it on good authority that Elon Musk is building a new battery factory in Texas, or thinking about it anyway. And there's a reason. Thank you, John. Sorry if I bullied you. I appreciate your questions. They're good comments. So, and the battery technology is silver based. And that's going to change everything. That's going to change everything. I don't know if it's going to quite get us to where Tesla was trying to take us in like the 1890s before they cock blocked him, before the billionaire class cock blocked him from carrying out his plans. But it's going to. Electric vehicles. I really love internal combustion engines. I love cars with gasoline motors. I love diesel trucks. I mean, I love the diesel engines in my boat. But I think we're looking at a world where the efficient, most way to get power and the most effective way to get power is probably going to be electric, and it with new technology. It doesn't work with the technology we have. And that technology that they're working on right now is silver dependent. It needs a lot of silver. I mentioned this a couple days ago. We're already using we're using 130% of the silver that the world is capable of producing right now. And we won't be able to up that. It'd take at least 5 to 10 years to crank that number up. And if this new battery technology comes out, it's going to be huge. And it is. It is. Samsung is starting to mine silver themselves in Mexico. And that's part of the problem. I mean, the new president, what I do know about her is that she's implemented a bunch of regulations about silver production. Some of them are environmental, like water usage and things like that, and some of them are what happens when the government shuts down the electric grid and I can store gas very easy. Yeah, keep your gas diesel generators going, because yeah, they will too if they can do it, they will do it. But shut down, we could see a lights out. We could see 2 weeks of darkness or whatever the hell. I think it was Dolores Cannon talked about that like 20 years ago. But silver's critical to the electric future, and Mexico is the world's leading producer of silver, both in processing and mining. And I think that might be a bigger draw, because here's something else. The cartels have moved into the silver producing region big time, and they've been taken over. They've been like infiltrating the whole silver industry in Mexico big time. And I think the president might welcome the U.S. military coming and kind of cleaning house on the cartel fucks in the silver industry. There's a lot of money in silver, as never used to be. It used to be the poor man's gold, but it's right now it's the world's energy supply is silver. So so that's why Trump last year in 2025 he classified silver as a strategic metal. That's different than saying a monetary metal. It isn't like the silver pound. The British pound is a pound of silver once upon a time. Um, the it is a strategic. We need it for our military. We need it for the electronics we use in the military. We need it for powering the country. We need it. It's the new oil. And I would dare bet you that if Trump sends troops in to clean up the silver producing region of Mexico, a lot of those restrictions, some were environmental, the president put on, but some of the restrictions she put on were to try to keep silver in Mexico, to try to keep it from just being a cheap commodity to be sent to the U.S. So I think, we've had plenty of wars about oil, uh, but I think if we have a war in Mexico, it'll be the first silver war. And I think that the U.S. will sort of fill the role the cartels are doing with running they'll be like the new cartel of silver with the what do I call it, duopoly. It'll be the Mexican government and the U.S. Industry. And that is most definitely China's what why China's so interested in Latin America too. I mean, I appreciate the China stores. You go to find I had to get a phone charger the other day. I asked where he went to go get it, and they said La Tienda Chin, the China store. That's where you get shit. I mean, places when you're in rural Latin America, when you're like 7-hour bus trip from the nearest Walmart, um, and you can't get Amazon doesn't deliver out to your island. Um, you you go to the China store, but it isn't just about retail, and it is about retail. But it's about they definitely uh, got an eye on the silver in Latin America too. So are we going to have the first ever silver war in Mexico? How's this going to work out? Um, the one thing I absolutely certain, it's going to be interesting. And if you get a chance, I'll try not to take too long to shuffle because I know some of you get bored with that. All these years, Victoria and I we always did the shuffling and laid it out before we had the reading. And all these years, people wanted to see how we did it, how we laid it out, how we shuffled the deck. And now I'm doing it, and people are saying, "Don't want to watch you shuffle. I get bored." It's like, go watch some donkey porn for a minute or two, and then come back. Whatever. Hey, a bunch of you are coming on here, and if you get a chance, give it a like. I bullied John into it, and thank you, John. I didn't just pick on you. I appreciate your good comments. Um, so, how? Tell us about the upcoming silver wars in Mexico. Ooh. So, the king of silver, the king of coins, the king of pentacles, that's the signifier. And the overall situation is joy from the past. And the gateway is the king of wands. A lot of face cards here we've got. The Knight of Pentacles is the root. over the current present moment is kind of having abundance and even excess. Here's the psychological future. That's moving into the unknown. And here, oh Jesus, this isn't good. This is the future, and this is heartbreak. Um, uh, it's all about yeah. Uh, and here we have the fears is impetuous, irrevocable action. Here's the astrological energies, and that's the nine of wands. That's we had the 10 yesterday. The 10 is like carrying this heavy burden. The 9 is you're just about to the end, and you got one last battle to fight. And here's what we want. We want like to be reborn and have a bright new future. But the final outcome is like it's like the arrows of love kind of finding the heart. But it's going to be rough, I can tell you. But I think it'll turn out. Let's see what the modifying cards are really important in this one. This modifies fears. This modifies astrological energies. That's interesting. This modifies desires. That's and this modifies the final outcome. So yeah, I would say that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Yeah, I think there's going to be a war. I think there's going to be chaos, and something will come of it, and we aren't going to know what that is for a long time. We've got this to live through before we know what the hell is happening, before we really have a clue. And we want a new start. We want a complete new start. And to get that, we need to find balance. And it's going to be sad. It's going to be a lot of sorrow. It's going to be a lot of pain. This is our future. And yeah, I'd say buckle up, because this is going to get wild. This is going to get crazy. If you can give this a like, I will probably do one more reading tomorrow. Depends on. I have a lot of things to do around here. I have a washing machine on this boat. How cool is that? But I don't have a dryer, so I have to hang everything out on the lifelines to dry. And it's raining, so I was going to do all this laundry today and wash the sheets and get everything ready for Victoria. Yeah. So she I'm a long way from anywhere. I'm a day from the nearest airport. So she'll get in. She won't get here for a couple of days, but she'll be here Monday, and I will absolutely certainly not have a reading that day. Who knows? I don't think she really doesn't want to be on camera. I don't know why, she's so wonderful, but it's her personal sovereignty, and I'm not going to violate it. But thank you guys for watching so long, and I'll give you a reading tomorrow, and then after that it'll be hit or miss for about a month. And give it a like. Come on, give us a like. Thank you for watching this long. A lot of you have stayed on here. It ran away now. Love you all, and have a great weekend, and stay safe, and especially be careful, because I think we're looking at actual war in Mexico. Take care.